What's up, people? Good morning. Today is Thursday, and in Germany it's like a partial holiday, which means that big trucks, big rigs cannot drive on the highways in certain areas of Germany. And it just so happens that the area of Germany that I need to go to get home is one of the areas that has that it's an official holiday, so I can't drive. So I am at a parking lot for the day, and I'm going to go and check out a lake in the area because it's nice weather, and I'm going to try and enjoy the day a little bit. But before I do that, I've got a very important video. Again, I'm sorry to say, again, more bad news, really bad news. So here it is. Most of you know that the World Health Organization, the WHO, has been talking about this pandemic response treaty, which basically means that they get sovereign power over all of the countries that are signed up to the WHO, that they will then be able to delegate the responses, and that all the signed up countries, all the signatories of the treaty, will have to conform to whatever the WHO says. Whatever the WHO says the measures are going to be. So just the same as COVID. Now, if you remember, the thing that struck me as very strange about COVID was that every Western country basically responded exactly the same to COVID, which was very strange to me. In my whole lifetime, even in my father's lifetime, who's 80, I asked him, have you ever seen anything like this? He was in the military in the States. He was in the Marine Corps. And I asked him, have you ever seen anything happen where all Western countries reacted in lockstep to whatever the situation may be? And the answer was, of course, no. And none of us have ever seen anything like that either. But somehow during COVID, all countries basically reacted the exact same way to COVID. They locked people down. They took away their rights. They tried to all force them to take an experimental medication. Very strange things for so-called democracies to do, but all of them did it, and not one really did anything else, which was very weird. But that was because the WHO, the World Health Organization, was making these. They weren't making the countries do it, but they were recommending that the countries did it, and because they saw how easy it was to get citizens to just give up all their rights during COVID, they are assuming that that will be the case forever and forever into eternity, and that every situation will be the same. And so what they wanted to do is they wanted to create a pandemic response treaty, which basically means that all of the countries that are signed up to it, and this includes Germany, this includes the United States, it includes basically every Western democracy. And the reason why it's democracies that they're going after is because democracy is the problem for the global governance that they want to put in. Because global governance is not possible if you have individual countries that are democracies, because their leaders, or again, shouldn't call them leaders, but their politicians are beholden to the people, and they get voted in and out. And so that's very inconvenient for people who want to run the world under one global government. And so to get around all these pesky democracy rules, they are now making a global pandemic response treaty. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called, but it's basically a document. It's a treaty that everybody signs. And in this treaty, they agree that whenever the WHO declares a global emergency, that they then have supreme rule over all the countries that are signed up to the WHO. So they tell every country what measures to take. And so this time, if there's another COVID, then it's not the countries themselves that are just taking advice from the WHO. They will be legally obliged to hand over their power to the World Health Organization, which, by the way, most of the heads of are from the Chinese Communist Party. And I mean, I know that this sounds like a conspiracy theory, people, but come on, at least be honest. Basically, every conspiracy theory since COVID has come true. So let's put this worry about conspiracy theories aside for a moment and look at the facts, look at the reality of what's happening. I think it was last week, or in recent history, the World Health Organization had a meeting with all 194, or it's 195 countries, with the United States in the lead on this. The Biden administration has basically taken the lead to sign over all of their sovereign power to this unelected bureaucratic organization that will be able to one-sidedly, unilaterally call anything an emergency that they want. And during this meeting, they didn't talk about health, they didn't talk about viruses, they didn't talk about any of that shit. They talked about one thing only, and that is, you guessed it, it's climate change. It's climate change. So what's going to happen? I'm telling you right now, what's going to happen is all of these countries that are part of the WHO, including Germany, the United States, the Netherlands, these Western countries, all of them did not dissent during this meeting at all. Nobody said, hey, wait a second, no, it can't be that we sign over all of our power because, we're responsible for our voters, our citizens live in a democracy. We cannot let some external bureaucratic organization force us to do other things, things against the Constitution or against the Grundrechte here in Germany. But basically everybody was on board with it. They're all going to go for it. The deal is basically done, people. Now, listen, the deal is basically done, which means once the deal is done, once they sign everybody into this, I can guarantee you the World Health Organization is going to call a global emergency on climate change. Climate change is going to be a global emergency, which means that they have the power to basically shut down anything they want. So if they say to Germany, to the politicians in Germany, listen, that's it, global emergency, no more cars, no more personal flights, no more private flights, no more flying on vacation. They're going to connect this with this digital European passport system, which already is in effect, people. They've already signed it. They've already done it. Again, nobody voted for this shit. Nobody voted for this shit. I didn't vote for it. I know none of you people voted for it, but the politicians are just going to do it regardless. They're going to do it. And so once the WHO calls the climate change the global health emergency, that's it. That's it. It's good. Freedom is over. Democracy is over. I know it sounds drastic. I know it sounds like panic, but or maybe people might think, oh, you're overdoing it. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to fucking happen. They're going to call climate change a global health emergency, and they are going to pull the strings on every so-called democracy that signed into them. So my suggestion is that all of the countries that want to retain their sovereignty and retain their freedoms, leave this treaty immediately. Don't sign this treaty. Do not go along with it. And, the problem a little bit is, what do you do about it? You can't really do much about it right now. The one thing that we can do about it, and again, I'm going to stress this, the only party in Germany that will not sign up to this shit is going to be the AfD. All of the other parties are captured, either bribed, either they're corrupt, either they're captured by it. You know that the Green Party is basically running the show in Germany, and they are definitely going to go for this. Because then, everything bad that happens, they can just go, well, no way. I mean, they do the same thing with Europe, people. You know it. They do the same thing with Europe. Everything that they do that pisses off their citizens, they go, well, we can't do shit about that. Europe said we have to do it. And now they've got another scapegoat organization, the World Health Organization, which is going to make much, much harsher, stricter rules and regulations, forcing the people to give up their freedoms and their rights. And they're going to go, well, yeah, it's the WHO. The WHO said it's a climate emergency. I mean, what can we do? That's why the Green Party is so militant on pushing their ideals through, is because they know that if they can just do it in time, that they will be able to just fall back on the WHO every time they want to take people's cars away or they want to stop people from eating meat or whatever it is. It's the perfect scheme for global governance. So, the same thing is true in America. The Democrats are insane. The Green Party are insane. Democrats are a cult. The Green Party is a cult. They're going to go for this shit. So, I am telling you people, America, vote Trump back into office. He's the one that is going to stop this from happening. He's the one that's going to save your rights. And in Germany, stop the Green Party. And the way to stop them, do not vote for these people again. Vote for the AfD. They'll at least keep you in free country. They'll at least keep you free. They're not going to sign over your sovereign rights to this bureaucratic, corrupt, sick organization, basically led by the Chinese Communist Party. So please, people, it's really, really troubling. Please, vote these fucking people out of office. That's all we can do. If we vote the same people in and they sign into this treaty, you've signed away your freedoms and your rights, and it's over. Violence will be the only way to get out, and nobody wants that. So I'm telling you, I'm pleading with you people, get rid of the Democrats, get rid of the Green Party and all these hucksters, vote in the AfD, vote in Donald Trump, and stop this from happening.